hope you're all having a good evening. How's everybody doing? Just wanted to kind of check in with everybody. How have things been going? How's your week been? Let me know any new updates, anything exciting, anything fun that you've been doing. Let me know in the chat. It is kind of getting much colder now as the days go on, so I've just kind of been staying inside a little bit more unless I need to go to work, but that's pretty much it for me. Let me know if anybody's done anything fun in the area, if you live in, Toronto, or where you're from, what have you done that's pretty exciting recently. As you can see by the video title for today, we're going to be talking about probiotics. And probiotics are pretty popular, one of those pretty popular supplements. So I'm going to be guiding you through, should you be taking a probiotic? Is it necessary to take one? Can we get probiotics from our food? How long should we take one for? What are what should you look for in a probiotic? So there's many different types of probiotics, many different things about them. So I will kind of help guide you through that and answer any of your questions that you have about that. So that's kind of just going to be a little casual chat about probiotics tonight. So I hope you're all excited and interested in learning a little bit about probiotics. Okay, so let me just see if there's anybody talking about anything. Some people are saying hi in the chat, so hi. Thanks everyone for coming and for joining me here tonight. I really appreciate when you all come and, bring your questions and bring your comments. It's very helpful. So thank you. My week has been busy, cold today. I raked the leaves last weekend. Nice. Yeah, so kind of getting ready for that winter time now. It is kind of cold out. Started snowing a little bit here today. So yeah. Yeah, great. Thanks for sharing. Okay, I actually have a question for all of you. So let me know before we start. Let me know who is currently taking probiotics, or let me know if you've taken probiotics in the past. I just kind of want to have a little bit of an idea of how many of you kind of take probiotics, or if you know what they are, or maybe you don't take probiotics. But yeah, let me know. Okay, so yeah, somebody said it's boring. It gets dark too early. That's true. It was like 3:30 today, and it was really dark outside. So yeah, it does get dark early. Okay, I don't take probiotics, but maybe I should. Okay, so when we talk about it today, I can kind of let you know, should you take probiotics? So we'll kind of talk a bit about that, and then you'll see if it's good for you to take. So I actually sometimes I cycle on and off from probiotics. I kind of take them when I feel like I need to, or my body kind of needs to take them. I did take them in the past more frequently when I was kind of healing my gut, and I had a lot of more gut issues. But now that things are kind of under control, I really kind of just take them. I cycle on and off from them when I feel like I need to take them, or I'll kind of talk about some times when you should take one. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Went to the Distillery District Christmas event. Nice. That sounds so much fun. I haven't been there in a while. Actually, I don't know if I ever went to the Christmas event, but I haven't been to the distillery in a while. So it looks really nice at Christmas time. I see lots of photos about it. I eat them in yogurt, but not as a supplement. Okay, yeah. So I'll talk about probiotic foods. So yeah. Did you have to show your papers? At the distillery district? Maybe they're talking about. Don't have to show any papers to take a probiotic. Okay, so it seems like some people have taken them from their food. Some people have never taken them, or have never taken them before. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. So there are certain situations where you do want to take probiotics, and one of them would be if you had an infection, or if you're getting over an infection. So this can even be something like a small viral infection, like maybe you have a stomach flu. It could even be if you have food poisoning, if you've had food poisoning, if you have an H. pylori overgrowth infection. Those kind of infections, any sort of infection, even if you have a cold or a flu, like chronic, like bronchitis or something like that, probiotics are helpful for not only supporting your good gut bacteria, but they're also very helpful for your immune system. So if you just had an infection and you're kind of getting over it and you're feeling a bit better, taking some probiotics can help boost your immune system and help build back your good microbiome. So when, for example, if you have food poisoning, that can kind of wreak some havoc in your gut. It can kind of disrupt the good to bad gut bacteria and cause imbalance, which is called dysbiosis. So if you have something like that, then taking a probiotic can be very helpful and beneficial for helping build back your good gut bacteria and kind of helping set things straight in your gut. So that is one case where you'd want to take probiotics. And then kind of going along with that is you want to take probiotics if you've taken antibiotics recently. So antibiotics also can cause a decrease of gut bacteria. So they're going to get rid of that bacteria. They're important in order to get rid of that infection. So whatever infection that might be that you had that you needed to take antibiotics for, but then they can also get rid of your good gut bacteria. So that's why taking probiotics, you can even take it during your antibiotic rounds, just making sure you're spacing them out. That can be helpful for building back your good gut microbiome, because if you don't, then that potentially could lead to further complications. Maybe you'll get a yeast overgrowth or a bad bacteria overgrowth, or you might get some diarrhea because you didn't have that good gut bacteria. And that's very important for just kind of keeping the digestive tract healthy and everything in check. So if you've had a recent infection and any sort of infection or any sort of illness, or if you're taking antibiotics, then you'll want to take some probiotics. So those are some two important cases where you should take probiotics. Okay, let me just jump into the chat for a second here. So I've taken it sometimes, didn't really feel a difference. Don't think I took them long enough to feel an effect. They smell funky though. Okay, so yeah, so you do need to take them for some time in order to feel an effect, for sure. And that's with most supplements. You do need to take them for a period of time in order to see the benefits from them. And you need to take them consistently. So if you took them maybe only like a couple times a week, here and there, you might not notice much of a difference, and maybe it didn't help you. So yeah, that could be one thing. Maybe you didn't take them enough. They smell funky, and that can just be, they shouldn't smell too funky. Maybe they went bad, but they do have a bit of a smell to them. I'll talk a little bit about the types that I like, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, so we talked about if you had an infection, if you taken antibiotics. Now let's also talk about another situation where you'd want to take probiotics, and that is if you've been traveling. So you can take it with you when you're traveling, or you can take it when you get back from your travel. And this kind of goes along with the change in atmosphere, the change in climate, the change in food. When you're traveling, you're exposed to many different things. Maybe you're exposed to different sort of viruses or bugs that you're not exposed to at home. So this can kind of disrupt your gut flora, and even just traveling on an airplane can disrupt it a little bit too. So taking some probiotics can be very beneficial for when you're traveling. So you can get ones that are shelf stable, so that's like the ones that don't need to be refrigerated, and you can bring them with you and take them on your vacation or wherever your destination, wherever you're going, and then take them again when you get back. So it is very helpful to take probiotics when you're traveling, and that can help prevent getting sick also, because I said it can help with your immune system. So those are definitely some good times where you'd want to take some probiotics. Another thing would be if you have some sort of gut issue, whether that be IBD or IBS. Probiotics can be very helpful in these conditions. So for example, with IBS, you can even take it to help with either like if you have the constipation or the diarrhea, it can help a lot with regulating that and kind of helping just with soothing and regulating the GI tract. And then IBD, because of so much inflammation and a lot of things going on, you can be more likely to get some sort of infection. Your immune system is a little bit weaker, so taking probiotics can be very helpful in that case too. So those are some situations where you want to take probiotics. You can also take it if you kind of just feel like things are a little bit off in your digestive tract. And this kind of goes with being a little bit more in tune. So maybe with more experience after taking probiotics, you might be able to notice, okay, like maybe it's time for me to start up another round of probiotics for 3 or 4 months, and then you can take a break from it, because we don't always want to be dependent on it. So that kind of brings me to talking about, should you get enough from your diet, or do you need to take them? So in those cases that I mentioned, like if you had an infection, if you're traveling, if you've taken antibiotics, if you have a chronic gut issue, if your immune system is weak, you'll definitely want to take probiotics. You probably won't be getting enough from your food. You're not getting as diverse of amount, and you won't be getting it as high of a potency. So you'll definitely want to take probiotics. But from day to day, just general health, you can definitely get some from your food. But you want to make sure you're consuming a variety of these probiotic foods. So some examples of probiotic foods. Actually, why don't I give you all a chance to let me know. Let's just see if anybody knows. Do you know any examples of any probiotic foods or any prebiotic foods? And let me know which ones you have tried. What are your favorite probiotic foods? Maybe there's one that you've tried that somebody in the chat hasn't tried and that they would be interested. Because I kind of talk about similar ones, but I'm kind of curious to know, what probiotic foods have you tried and what do you like? So let's talk about, while you're all kind of talking in the chat, let's talk about the difference between a probiotic and a prebiotic. So prebiotic foods help to kind of give the probiotics fuel, help to give your good gut bugs fuel to thrive. It helps them just all overall healthy and do well, and feed the bacteria and helps them populate and just stay nice and healthy in the gut. So that is a good one to take. So taking prebiotic foods is very helpful. Also, then you can take probiotic foods. Hold on, give me 1 second. You can take probiotic foods, and the probiotic foods will give you they give you good gut, the good gut bacteria. They actually help with those, whereas the prebiotics support the probiotics in your gut. Okay, so let me see what we can talk about in the chat. Let me see what prebiotic foods. So somebody mentioned yogurt. Yes, yogurt is a great one. So yogurt is very helpful for helping with getting some good probiotics. Does anybody have any other ones that they like? So yogurt's a good one. Sauerkraut, kimchi, those are like fermented foods. Any type of fermented food, even things like pickles. Olives can also be a little bit helpful if they are fermented too. Kefir, which is like a yogurt, like a milk drink. You can also get coconut based kefir. Those are some good sources. Tempeh, tempeh, miso, those are also helpful probiotics. So probiotics, pretty much you want to think of anything that's like fermented. So those are helpful ones. Then the prebiotics are things that like a lot of starches. So things like they have the inulin. I'm not sure if you're familiar with inulin, but those kind of foods. So things like garlic, onions, asparagus. What's the Jerusalem artichoke is another one. Greener bananas that are more on the green side. Those are some prebiotic foods. Okay, so there's prebiotic and probiotics. You want to kind of get a variety of those in your diet. So that would be something that you can do kind of every day, and it's very helpful for just increasing the good gut bacteria and helping to support the good gut bacteria. So you can definitely take them. Okay, there were some questions, so let me go back. Okay, hi, what is your favorite movie? Oh, that's a good question. I I don't really have a favorite movie, and uh, I would one of my favorite movies from probably when I was younger, and I haven't watched this in a long time, but it was The Notebook, and I think I watched that movie many, many times. I just really, really liked the story behind that. So I would say that's probably one of my favorite movies. Um, Other than that, I can't really say anything specifically, and I'm not really thinking of any on the top of my head. But let me know, what's your favorite movie? Mine is Back to the Future. Oh, okay, nice, nice. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Harry Potter. Oh yeah, I like Harry Potter. I like the Harry Potter series. I like those ones too. So that's a good one. Harry Potters are good. Yeah. Other than that, I don't really have another favorite one. Just kidding. It's Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is a good movie too. Yeah, nice. Yeah, if anybody else has any of their favorite movies that they want to let us know, in the chat. Maybe there's something that you've watched that somebody else hasn't. Both consist of time travel. Oh, well, your name is the time traveler. Isn't that funny? Okay, there was a question about I have taken antibiotics. How long should you take the probiotics for after that? I would say you should take the probiotics for 2 to 3 months after that for sure. It takes time to help support the good gut bacteria, and you want to make sure you're taking it for long enough time. I'd say I usually say 3 months is a good amount of time to take any sort of supplement, and then you can give yourself a little bit of a break after that and see how you're doing. Maybe you can add more of the foods into your diet. But yes, definitely I would say 3 months. Good question. I didn't know about taking probiotics when you take antibiotics. That's a good tip. Yes, you definitely can, and you just space them out. Yeah, so you can even talk with your doctor about how you should space them out, but you definitely can take it. So even when you're on H. pylori, what's it called, eradication medication, where you have to take multiple types of medications, including antibiotics and other sort of PPIs, you can even take a probiotic then to help with that. So yes, taking it with it is also helpful. Yeah, good questions. Okay, so what are we talking about here? Terminator 2 is a good one, or Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I've never seen that one. I don't think so. Have I? I'm not sure. That's good to know. I didn't realize it would take that long to recover. Yeah, so it does help with supporting it. So yeah, take it for that amount of time, and it will definitely help out with it. Any sort of alternate method for taking prebiotics pills sometimes get caught in my throat. There is powders, so you can take a powder, and then there's also some that come in a liquid form. So you can take, if you don't want to take the pills, you can take either the powder or the liquid form. And that's if you want to get it through a supplement. If you want to get it through the diet, then you just got to increase the probiotic foods. Even what's it called? The prebiotics, there is a powder, and I've kind of just put that one in the smoothie before, and it's fine. Do they clump? No, you just stir them, and they're pretty good. They don't, they're not going to turn into a sludgy clumpiness. They might get little pieces of clumps, but they're not, no, they don't turn into big clumps. So yeah, they're definitely helpful to take. They make even powder ones for infants too. So yeah, good questions. Okay, so let's just quickly talk about what do you want to look for in a probiotic. So I've talked about this before, but I always suggest getting a multi-strain probiotic. And that just basically means it's many different types of probiotics. So there's common ones that are your lactobacillus and bifidobacterium are the common strains, and then they have different endings too. So there's many different types. So if you get a good multi-strain, that's going to help kind of cover many different areas of your health, and kind of help support overall. So the more strains is kind of better, so you want to do that. then you're going to want to make sure it's like at least 10 billion CFUs, which is the colony forming units. So you want to make sure you're getting at least that. Sometimes if you've had really bad and a really bad gut infection, you might need to take like something like 50 billion or more. So looking at that on the bottle, it will say that, and then it will say you just have to look in the ingredients to see if it's a multi-strain. So sometimes it might just have 2 strains or 3, but you want to make sure it has many different ones. So yeah, that's just kind of a tip for getting a probiotic. I usually do like the ones that are like on the refrigerated ones, but you can get ones that are also shelf stable and can be helpful for traveling too. So yeah, those are just some tips when picking out a probiotic. Okay, there's a question. Are there any side effects? So the side effect could be potentially loose stools. So that could be a side effect if it's kind of irritating your gut a little bit. Maybe it's a bit too much. Maybe you should start at a lower dose or start taking it slowly, getting your body used to it. So I always kind of say when you're first taking it, you might notice a little bit of some looser stools, but your body should adjust to it within a couple of weeks. You should be okay. If you have something like SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, if you take probiotics, it's actually going to make you feel worse. You probably would get really bloated, feel really sick, you would feel worse because you're kind of adding more bacteria to the bacteria. So what you would need to do first is get rid of the bacterial overgrowth, and then you take probiotics after, if that makes sense. So if you're noticing that you're feeling really, really unwell from it, then there might be something else going on. You generally should be okay with it. They're generally safe, and they shouldn't cause anything other than maybe a little bit of a looser stool. Maybe they're going to help you go more frequently, but it could be, it could just be helping to regulate your bowel movements a little bit. Okay, maybe the liquid form, I will have to do a cost per gram per mil analysis to see what's the most cost effective. Wow, that's very interesting. If you do that, please let us know. But I guess it also depends on different brands too. So maybe you can find the same brand and then price it out to see if there's how much. But yeah, good call. Should you take it in the morning or night or with food? That's a good question. I should have mentioned that. So you should take it with food. Always take your probiotic with food, and either morning or night. I really haven't seen anything that shows much of a difference. So you could kind of take it whenever you remember to take it, whenever it's best for you to take it. Sometimes it's easier to just take it in the morning with breakfast. So I usually just suggest that. And yeah, you could do that, but definitely take it with food. Does a better diet beat a probiotic supplement? So diet is always kind of like the foundation of anything. You definitely want to be getting things through diet. So if you're having a diet that's diverse in many different fruits and vegetables, if you're having the probiotic and prebiotic foods, if you're having good sources of protein and healthy fats, that's definitely the best thing. It's going to help overall. But you may be missing out on certain of those like benefits that you can get from a probiotic if you definitely need it. So in those cases that we talked about, I would say diet cannot beat a probiotic. You definitely want to take a probiotic if you've had antibiotics, if you traveled, if you get sick often, if you've just recovered from a really bad gut issue, then you definitely want to take probiotics. It can help out a lot. But from just day-to-day general health, you can do well with taking a diet. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to be on probiotic every day forever either. Too much of something isn't good, right? Even if it's a good thing. So you are what you eat. Don't eat ketchup. I don't eat ketchup. Yeah, you are what you eat. It's true. So it's important to have a very healthy diet. Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And I think, just to recap, like I was saying, there's certain cases where you want to make sure you're taking a probiotic. you should get some from your food, which is important too, and then always looking at what the label says of a probiotic. You want it to be a nice multi-strain and at least 10 billion units. So if anybody has any other questions, I'll leave the chat open for a few more minutes. Let me know. And thank you all for showing up and participating tonight. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That way you can be notified every time I go live, and it also helps with the YouTube algorithm. And then share it with a friend that would be interested in joining us every week. How much yogurt should you eat each day? I say like a half a cup of yogurt is typically like a serving of yogurt, like a third to a half a cup. Third to a half a cup. But I've talked about this before with yogurt. Like, remember that there's sometimes a lot of additives in yogurt. So I always say the best thing to do is get a non-sweetened yogurt, to do like a Greek yogurt or a skyr yogurt, which has like a good source of protein. And then you can add like things on it, like berries. You can even add a little bit of nice raw honey or something like that to sweeten it up. So if you are having it every day, then yeah, just making sure it's a good one. I mean, if you're not having it every day, make sure it's a good one. Just to confirm, you said it's okay to take the probiotic while on antibiotics. Yes, it is. Just make sure you're waiting like a couple hours between taking them. But yes, you can take that while you're on the antibiotic. It's fine to take it. It won't, interact with it. Just space it out. Or you can even, if you're taking your antibiotic in the morning, you can take your probiotic at nighttime or something like that too. Is coconut yogurt a prebiotic? So coconut yogurt, sometimes they add strains of probiotics to the coconut yogurt. So you can get probiotics from it that way. It's not necessarily a prebiotic, but you can get it. The probiotics, they usually add some strains of probiotics to the coconut yogurt, or just the way that it's done in the process, it can get some probiotics from it that way. So it usually says on it the strains of the probiotic, or it will say like active bacterial cultures. That's another way of knowing it, and that has probiotics in there. So yeah, good questions, everyone. Let me know if there's anything else, and I'll be happy to answer any of it. I hope this was helpful for all of you. I find that like sometimes it can be challenging to get probiotics and prebiotics through the diet. I find like probiotics are a little bit of challenging to get through the diet. Unless I have something like yogurt, or if I haven't had tempeh in a long time. So yeah, unless I do something like fermented vegetables, or pickled vegetables, it's challenging to get it. So those aren't something that's typically in my everyday diet. So I do find that a challenge, but that's something I try to, be creative and experiment and try new things. I recently started having some pickles, which I didn't like before. So be creative, try new things, and yeah, okay. That's all I have to say for tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you all next week, and we'll talk about something else. Take care.